Hey. Can I see you dance? Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter what happens, we trust you, Lord. Come on. I did trust you. Oh, yeah. I did trust you. Yeah. I know that you will make a way. I did trust you. Come on, everybody. I did trust you. Now tell somebody. Oh, say, you are my confidence today.
about an important, discussion that really concerns all of us. Um, we are talking about insurance. Is it really important, to be insured against your future? Do we really understand the terms and conditions in these, little notes? And insurance is so important, but then I don't think many of us fully understand what insurance is all about. Insurance can provide a financial safety net for you or for your loved ones in the event of a premature death, serious illness, or being unable to work due to sickness or injury. But then, in spite of its importance, there are numerous myths and misconceptions surrounding insurance that can lead to confusion and in some cases put a lot of people off altogether. And in tonight's discussion, we are going to debunk, some of these myths, and then we'll dive into, why it's so important, the principles of insurance, the different types of insurance, and many more. And to help me do that, I have a gentleman who is so experienced in this field, and he's no other than Mr. Charles Hogger, who is a financial advisor at Eminent Financial Services. Charles, yes, welcome to the Inside View.
Thank you very much, Nana, for having me. Firstly, I have to express my gratitude to you for making this possible and also for all the other platforms you've presented to other people to make to impact on our communities. I have to say a very big thank you for the great work we are doing for the communities. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I hope your day was good.
Yes, I'm very grateful to be here to see you once again.
Right. I know you're going to talk about insurance and
Yes.
the different types of insurance and the nitty gritty of insurance. But, to many people who have never seen you before, and, today being their first time of hearing your voice and also seeing your handsome face, we just want to know just a little bit about yourself and, your background and how your formative years was like for you.
Thank you very much, Sana. I'm Charles Hogger, as you've introduced me. Um, I'm a Ghanaian. I was born in a beautiful town in Koforidua. That's back in Ghana. Had all my education in Koforidua, apart from the university education, which I traveled to Accra to have read management and economics. Worked for a while in Ghana. Came to the UK, did a lot of jobs, a lot of jobs, and eventually I met a financial advisor who had wanted to sell me insurance, I would say. And he explained the whole thing to me. And it made a lot of sense to me. And at a point, he caught me with a bit of statistics that indicate that most of us, especially people from the Black, Asian, and minority ethnic groups, we are the worst off when it comes to insurance uptake. We are very, very, very down the ladder when it comes to insurance uptake. And I assessed the whole thing, and you could see that most of the times, if something happens to us, instead of us going, there's no financial safety net for us. So we have to run to family and friends to seek help. And I realized that it wasn't helping us live a life of dignity. If we can fall to these safety nets, why not? Invest a bit in yourself so that if the eventuality happens, you can fall back to this safety net to get protected without any family member or any friend knowing about your predicament. So I expressed interest in what he was doing, and he introduced me to it, and I've been doing it since, trying to help, especially the BAME community, Black, Asian, and minority ethnic groups, family, friends. I've been doing this for a while, and I think most people have come to understand it now, and we are getting there, but not there yet. So that's what I do. Thank you very much.
Right. I like the fact that you said that we are getting there and we are still, like we are not there yet. Just to, lighten up the atmosphere a little bit,
Yeah.
what are the reasons why people, especially people from our background, are not interested in investing in insurance? What do you think are some of the reasons?
Yeah. If you talk to a lot of people, people have had bad experiences, especially those who have come from home, who have come from Ghana or Nigeria. People have had very bad experiences with insurance. So generally, they tell you insurance doesn't pay. I've done insurance before when it comes to payment, they didn't pay and stuff like that. That's one. And the other thing is faith, because we predominantly faith-based people, we trust either we are Christians or Muslims. Majority of us are Christians. They'll tell you, "I'm a Christian. God is my insurance," and stuff like that. So most of them, and lack of education as well. I would say lack of education and exposure. People don't know they can invest in themselves for maybe with £10 a month or £15 a month, and if something happens to him, be it sickness or accident, they can get cover for that. So those are some of the things where I've realized interacting with people from our communities.
So how can we make insurance appeal to a lot of people, especially the younger generation coming up?
I think it's continued education, interacting with people, visiting them, like this platform we've raised for us, telling people that insurance pays and it doesn't take a leg and an arm to get insurance. With a little investment, you can insure yourself. How do you call it? We take you through the principle of financial planning so that you see the reason why you need to secure yourself financially. We So it's through education and getting in touch, because a lot of people come to realize after having a meeting with them that, oh, is that how it is? Most of the myths are debunked when you meet people. So I think we continue education, and a platform like yours is helping a lot of people, can help a lot of people as well. Churches, we visit churches, society, we have a lot of societies now. So we apply, we talk to the members at their meetings and stuff like that. And like I said initially, we are getting there, but we need to do more. And also we need more people from our communities to be financial advisors as well, to educate, because the job is, how do you call it? The job is, it's a huge job, but we don't have many financial advisors coming from the BAME communities. So we need a lot of people from our communities as well to be financial advisors, so that we can advise. We understand ourselves better than somebody coming outside from outside our communities. We can understand ourselves better and recommend to our people how to protect them the best. So that's what I think we should continue doing: educate them and getting more people from our communities to be financial advisors as well.
Okay, to the lay person who does not even understand all that we are talking about, what is insurance at all?
Yeah.
What is insurance?
Yeah, to the layperson, insurance is, I would say, pooling resources, like as we were told in school, pooling resources, so that when you are in times of need, whatever we've pulled will be used to protect you. But insurance, generally, I would say, is protecting yourselves against future eventualities like accidents, sickness, and even death. Investing a little of your earned income into this thing, so that if anything should happen to you, be it sickness, accident, or even death, you and your family can be protected.
Great. So tonight we just want to know, what are the types of insurance? But before we get to that point, we just want to know the principles of insurance, and also the objectives of insurance. I know you've run through, putting some money aside, why the BAME community are not too much interested, or I would say not aware, fully aware
Yeah.
of the benefits, of insurance, due to their own maybe past, experiences.
Experiences. Yeah.
Yes. what are the principles of insurance, or the objectives of insurance? So that if anyone is listening,
Yeah.
now they can be, educated on
Yes.
insurance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I will take it this way. The general objective is to invest in yourself. So if something should happen to you, you can get that safety net. But if you take it one by one, like something like life insurance, the objective is to reduce the financial impact on you, on your family after you've departed, and you have dependents still to care for. That's the objective of life insurance. Generally, the objective is to reduce the financial impact on yourself or your family in case of sickness, accident, or death. That's the general objective. But if you take something like life insurance, is for your dependents. Should you depart this world early, then whatever you cover yourself for goes to your family, your dependents, people who depend on you financially. Should you leave this world before they become independent? So whatever you insure yourself for, you can insure yourself for maybe 100,000, 50,000, whatever you insure yourself for. That money goes to your family for them to take care of themselves. Because we normally say that if somebody dies, uh, you leave people with, how do you call it, emotional loss and financial loss. With the emotional loss, you cannot do much about it. But financial loss, you can make a plan for it so that your dependents don't suffer both financial and emotional loss. So generally, that's the principle of insurance, to reduce the financial impact on yourself or your family, depending on the eventuality, be it sickness, accident, or death. So
Okay.
it's just a reduction
Hmm.
of that financial impact on yourself or your family.
Great. So when you meet people for the first time who have no idea what
Yep.
all these insurance, policies that, like we're about to talk about,
Yes.
how do you assess what type of insurance, policy a client needs? And also, how do you ensure clients fully understand these policies? How are you able to educate people for them to come to your level of understanding?
Well, that's a very great question. What I do is when I meet someone, I have three ways of having a meeting with the person. Firstly, we do virtual meetings. I can have a virtual meeting with the person, wherever the person is in the UK. I can have a virtual meeting with the person. Secondly, I visit clients' homes if that's what is convenient for you. And thirdly, I may ask you to come to the office in Canary Wharf. So what I do, or what we generally do, is to assess you, ask a few questions of you, find out like basic personal questions, your uh, employment, your age, obviously, you should be 18 and above before you can take up insurance policies, your employment status, family size, your medical history as well. We assess all those things. And based on that, we make recommendations to you about what we can offer you in terms of insurance. So if somebody has a family, you have people who depend on him or her, definitely that person is going to need life insurance. If that person is working, we will always recommend that you do something we call income protection. And generally, we tell people to do critical illness cover as well because we don't know where sickness is going to come from. And also, we ask people to do accident and sickness protection as well. It's not medically underwritten. I will explain that to you later on, medical underwritten policy. But that's what I do. I explain this thing to you and make recommendations based on the information you give me. And after that, we will establish a budget based on the information you give me. I try and establish a budget with you. What you think will be more comfortable for you to take. And based on that, based on the recommendation, you select whichever you think appeals to you based on the advice I've given you. So I'll try to explain to you, like you said, to your understanding, especially people from our communities. I speak three languages as well, so some of the things I break it down even to our local language. I speak Twi, I speak Ga, and I speak Ewe as well. So though if the person cannot speak any of these languages and cannot speak English, we are it's a requirement that you bring in a third party who can interpret these things for you, be it a family member or a friend. So we try to service everybody, those who are lettered, those who are not lettered, and even those people who, due to one or two reasons, they cannot take financial decisions on their own. We still advise that you bring a third party to the meetings so that that third party can explain some of these things to you. So that's what we do. We arrange a meeting, explain what we do to you, uh, take information from you, and based on the information you give us, we try to make recommendations for you to choose what you think appeals to you after you've established a budget.
Okay.
So that's what we do.
Thank you so much. If anyone is watching, us kindly share this information.
Yeah.
Please bring everyone on board, to tuning, because this is so educational, and we want everybody to be informed, especially people from the minority backgrounds. I'm appealing to you tonight to be educated on, like on insurance, and just like Charles said, we are just at the bottom, when it comes to insurance. Due to our own, beliefs and also our own myths. Sometimes we have myths like I'm too young to think about insurance. Insurance is unaffordable. I have insurance through my employer, so I don't need any more. We have myths like I'm single and have no dependents, so I don't need insurance. I am healthy, so I don't need insurance. Life insurance, payouts are always taxed. So these are myths that tonight Charles, Hogger is going to help us debunk. And I don't want to keep this information to myself. That's why I have invited him to come and, spend some time with us. If you should visit him, you're going to pay. But, tonight he's just offering his services for free. So why don't you take advantage of it? So please share this, conversation, share, and also invite as many people to tune in. Yes, as well. Charles, tonight we just want to know the different types of insurance policies that we have. I think many of us just know the car insurance and the life insurance, but I think there are many more insurances out there. If you can just run us through each and why it's so important for us to think about each insurance policy.
Thank you very much. I'll break this down to two or three different types of insurance. The first one, which is very important, is the personal insurance. Personal insurance, meaning is for you and your partner or your family. You have a family, and the variants of those ones are: the first one is life insurance. Life insurance, like I tried to explain it earlier on, is a policy that you take to reduce the financial impacts on your family when you depart early, before they are adults, your children are adults, or you don't want, the whole thing is you don't want your family to live a different type of life apart from what you've left them. You want them to maintain that standard of living, if not better. You don't want the standard of living to be lowered. So you put life insurance in place. That's one. Life insurance, you, the person who covering yourself for life, don't enjoy any of the benefits. It's for your family. And the only time you can enjoy some of the benefits if you are, how do we call it, when you are diagnosed with anything we call terminal illness. Terminal illness generally is an illness that you've been diagnosed with, and the doctor tells you that, oh, it's going to be 12 months. You can't live within beyond 12 months. That's when the benefits is paid to you. But life insurance is basically for your family. That's one. And the second one of the personal insurance is income protection. Income protection basically is to reduce the financial impact on yourself after your employer has stopped paying you due to sickness or accident. Because in most cases, our employers pay us when we are sick of work. Our employers pay us after, maybe they pay us. It depends on everyone. And the most I know is 6 months. Generally, NHS and some other companies, they pay you for 6 months full pay, and after that, they may reduce it to half pay and stuff like that for another 6 months. And other people don't even, especially the self-employed, they don't have any sick pay at all. You earn whatever you earn, you keep it. So if you should be sick and you cannot go to work, there's no money coming from anywhere. So that's one thing about income protection, is to reduce the financial impact of you not being able to work due to sickness or accidents after your employer has stopped paying you. And after your employer has stopped paying you, the insurance company comes in and pay you a regular amount of money for a period of time, depending on how the policy you choose. It can be for 1 year, it can be for 2 years, it can be for 5 years, or it can be up to your retirement, depending on how you choose. Because the longer it is, the more expensive it is. If it's up to your retirement, you're going to pay a bit more. Same thing is if up to 5 years, it's going to be a bit less, 2 years lesser, and 1 year a bit less as well. So that's income protection. That's the second part of the second of the, how do you call it, the personal insurance. And we have something we call critical illness cover as well. Critical illness is when the doctor has diagnosed you with anything they think is critical, like some sort of cancers, heart attacks, strokes, and stuff like that. Things that you cannot work again. So you cover yourself. If you cover yourself for that, it reduces the financial impact that it will have on you, because the insurance company will pay you a lump sum of money for you to look after yourself. Currently, if something should happen to you and you don't have anything in place, what you got to do is to rely on the NHS. But we know current situation of the NHS, the waiting period and stuff like that. But if you have money, you have options. You can decide to go private. You can decide to go abroad to look after yourself. Even if it comes to maybe adaptation to your home to live a more comfortable life, this money can help in those areas. So that's critical illness cover, the third one. All these three that I've spoken about are medically underwritten. You ask you medical questions. If you are on any medication and stuff like that, we ask you all these things. Whether you're a smoker, and so we ask you all these questions. But the fourth one, which we call the accident and sickness insurance, is not medically underwritten. It's just accident and sickness. It's not about your life. It's not nothing to do with your life. So that is not medically underwritten, and that is straightforward. And it's from one company called MetLife. That's accident and sickness insurance. So that's on the personal insurance side of things. And we also do referrals. If somebody wants private medical insurance, we do referrals to our partners. And we do professional indemnity, like people who are, how do you call it, contractors and stuff like that. Professional indemnity and personal accident indemnity, we do that as well through referral. So that's one thing. And again, we do business insurance for small and medium enterprise businesses. We do business insurance as well. How to protect your business, key person insurance, somebody who is very vital to the survival of your company. If that person should be sick or that person should leave your company, the impact it will have on you, you can put in something to protect that impact, reduce the impact this thing is going to have on your company or your business. So we put this in place. When it happens, the insurance company pays you something. Business loans, we do that as well. So basically, those are the three things we do. Business insurance, we do referrals, medical, professional indemnity, and private medical insurance. And we do what we call the general insurance. That's building and contents. We do building and contents insurance as well. The only thing we don't do is we don't do car insurance. That one we don't do. But we do all the other forms of insurance. Even pet insurance, we can send you a referral. We can send you to a referral who will do that for you. So generally, I think I've covered those are the things we do. Personal insurance, that's life, critical illness, income protection, and accident and sickness. We do business insurance and we do referrals, private medical insurance, professional indemnity, and other things. Thank you.
So I think you've just provided, us with the services that you offer.
Yeah.
But I just want to ask, why do life insurance claims, get denied sometimes, and what can someone actually do if their insurance claim gets turned down?
Yeah, thank you very much. That's a very good question as well. Insurance policy, because all the insurers want to pay, because these insurance companies are big insurers, and paying for a claim is a big thing because they publicize it, they publish it, and they add it to their how do you call it, brochures and stuff like that to appeal to people that whatever happens we pay. But what happens mostly is when you are taking the insurance, when you are taking the policy, most people don't disclose what is expected of them. Most people don't disclose this. But if it comes to claims, we should know that the insurance companies, 9 out of 10, are going to check the information you gave them when you're taking up the policy. If you don't disclose facts to the agent or to the financial advisor, point of claim, it may be rejected. Or if it's not rejected, sometimes they will pay a reduced claim instead of you having the whole claim. So we tell people at the point of taking the insurance, it's better to tell the truth, the whole truth, and pay a bit more than to hold back some of the information and you think you are protected. But when it comes to claim, it's not only with life insurance, income protection, all the insurances as well. At the point of taking the policy, the agent or the advisor will ask you all these questions. And from the beginning, he will tell you to stick to, he will make a statement to you indicating that you have to provide facts, disclose everything to him. So if you don't do this, the advisor will not know. If you're on any medication, you don't disclose it to the advisor, you will not know, definitely not know. But if you disclose all this to the advisor, he will be in a position to advise you on which insurance policy is good for you. Though you may pay a bit more than somebody who is not on any medication, you are assured that if anything happens to you, you'll be paid. But if you don't disclose these things, definitely it goes to the company, and at the time of claim, they will go and check these things with your GP. Because when you're taking out the policy, they ask for your GP details. They'll know these things. So what we advise people is, at the point of taking up the policy, disclose everything that needs to be disclosed so that you know that what you are paying for will be there for you when it comes to claims. But if you don't disclose these things, you are taking a big chance, which I will not advise anybody to do.
Okay. It sounds convincing, but I think we've had a lot of natural disasters that took a lot of people's property, fence and stuff like that away. And then when it came for them to claim, the insurance,
Decline.
yes, some of them were denied. So we just want to know, like when it comes to like insurance, like home insurance, the other forms of insurance, and even with car insurance and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
What are the things that people should disclose so that like let's say if I'm paying for home insurance, and let's say I lose, let's say my fence, my gate, something like that, like due to natural disaster, like due to heavy winds, due to heavy downpours. What are some of the things that people should know before taking on some of these insurance? Because I guess these are the reasons why that puts a lot of people off, because they think, oh, I'm paying money for all these things, and then when it comes, for you to claim due to, any eventuality, that's when they pull out all the blueprint for you to read. Yeah, but meanwhile, like as far as you're concerned, you thought, oh, okay, I've been paying, what is expected of me. So how can people gain trust in insurance, like policies, and also like in people like you who go around selling insurance, policies to people.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Nana. At that point where you think you're making a claim and you're being denied, I don't think it's a pleasant situation. But what we tell people is, like I said initially, disclose everything and also know what you are being covered for. Most people, especially if people take policies online nowadays, and it's very, very difficult. It's something I will not, it may seem cheaper. I will not advise anyone to do it because how many times do we read the small print? We don't do that. We don't do that. But even if you are taking it to a financial advisor, make sure you read all these things. Though the financial advisor is expected to read all these things to you, he's expected to tell you all the, how do you call it, exclusions. Because there's something we call exclusions, what you are not covered for. Every policy, there are exclusions. If you take a policy, you say you are excluded, you are not, your fence is not covered, your gate is not covered, maybe your garden is not, anything in your garden is not covered or whatever. So you should know those things as well. Sometimes when these exclusions are included, you may pay a bit more, but it's better if you want those things to be protected. It's better you pay that more, a bit, little bit more for those things to be included than to take the basic, because most of this, the basic ones, you say, oh, I've taken home insurance, I've taken life insurance. It comes to payment, they are not paying. Let the advisor read everything to you, the exclusions as well, and assess if you can afford not being covered with the exclusions the advisor is telling you about. If you cannot afford to take up that cost, then it's better you pay a bit more for those things to be. But generally, some of these insurance companies don't pay for other things. That's no matter, it's not about paying a bit more to get it. But you should understand that advisors should let you understand that this is not covered in the insurance policy at all, so that he or she puts your mind at ease and tell you A, B, and C are not covered, but C, D, and E are covered. Especially you're talking about home insurance. Somebody uh, there is they will ask you if you have a television, for how much is television cost. You may have a television that costs more than £3,000 or £2,000, but so no, everything in my house is less than £1,000. Individual items are less than £1,000. Accidental damage comes, and your television, you bought a television for maybe £3,000, then you put yourself in a very difficult position for the insurance company to pay up to that £3,000. So it's all about disclosure. Disclose everything you need to disclose, and also read yourself and let the agent or the financial advisor read to you the exclusions inherent in that policy.
Great. So, is there any particular reason why those prints are very, very tiny? Because I think that's the problem where people, that's the problem, with people not being able to fully read and also understand, because sometimes it's got its own jargons, which
Yes.
makes it very,
Yes.
very
Yes.
difficult for a layperson to understand.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think these are the things that maybe your industry should
Yes.
look into to
Yes.
make it more appealing, especially to the BAME community. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's the reason why I said initially, I'm not trying to put online purchases down. They may have their own convenience. They may have their own benefits like convenience and stuff like that. But who is responsible for you if you buy online? But if you got a policy through an advisor, the advisor did not do a good job by telling you about all these things, you can hold the advisor responsible when it comes to claims. And it's a very, very big thing, because most of these insurance companies, we are all financial advisors, we are regulated by Financial Conduct Authority. So occasionally, if I sell insurance to you, occasionally you may have somebody calling you to find out the job I did for you. So you're always on your toes to do a very good job. Did the person do this? Did the person explain this to you? They will ask you all these questions. So the advisor is always guided to provide you the best of information to his ability. Because if he misses out anything, he may be held liable for it. So I always advise people try to read, like you said, most of these things they are small, you cannot even read them. But if you are getting an advice sale, like something like exclusions, the person will tell you straight away. And they will send you some documentation as well, like stability report and stuff like that. Whatever discussion you've had with the advisor, you summarize it and send it to you. And if this sense doesn't reflect the conversation you have with the advisor, it's incumbent upon you to call the advisor and explain this thing to him. That this one we discussed that I'm covering myself for 100,000, but I've seen that you gave me only 75,000 or whatever. So getting an advice sale reduces some of this uh, non-payment of claims. Because if you disclose everything to the advisor explains everything to you to the best of your understanding, then you're on a very good path to make claims when an incident happens.
Thank you so much for that answer. I just want us to, just go back to health insurance.
Yes.
What, like over here we have NHS that I mean,
Yes.
that is so accessible to everyone here. But you made mention, of your company providing health insurance. So what type of health insurance, I mean, is right for, anybody that, that you come across? And also, what happens if one has got a pre-existing condition? Like let's say I took insurance before actually, getting a particular illness. What happens if someone has a pre-existing condition? And also, what happens if somebody, after taking the insurance, got ill, along the way? What happens to that person?
Yes, thank you very much. I'll take the first question first. The first question was um, private health insurance. Private health insurance, the company doesn't provide it directly. We have a referral agent. We refer you. We give your details to the agent, the company. They will call you at your convenient time, ask you questions, just like I'll be selling personal insurance to you. They ask you questions, and they will explain to you what private medical insurance is good for you. So it's a referral service we offer. We refer you to our partners who will explain these things to you in detail. That's the first one. And the second one was, I think the second one was if you have pre-existing
Yeah.
medical. Yes. If you have pre-existing, it's not, like I said, pre-existing medical history doesn't debar you from taking insurance. But generally, you may pay a bit more depending on the medical condition. It's not all, but in most cases, you may pay a bit more, or the insurance company may decide to explore or cross-check what you've told them with your GP and see if what you're telling the agent is in tallies with what is on your GP's record. So they look at all these things and give you a premium to pay. So, and also I think the third one was if you've taken insurance policy before any sickness you get any sickness.
Yeah.
If the policy is life, you don't need to do anything about it. You don't need to tell the insurance company. But if you're on taking the policy, they ask you that, or we postponing it, you want to check with your GP. Then anything that happens between that time and before the acceptance of the policy, you have to inform the insurance company, or you have to inform them through your agent that, oh, I did a meeting with you on Saturday, but I went to the hospital on Tuesday or Wednesday or the other week, and this thing came up that they say I have A, B, or C. So you tell them. Because, like I said initially, if you don't tell them all these things, the likelihood that they may find out when it comes to claims is very high. So between the time you had a meeting and the policy going live, if anything should happen to you in terms of medication, or your medication has changed or anything, you have to inform the insurance company, either directly or through your agents, through the financial advisor, and they will advise you from there. But if the how do you call it, the sickness or whatever came after the policy has gone live, then it's not recorded anywhere. We didn't know about it before taking the policy, so we don't need to do anything about it. When it comes to claims, they have to claim. The insurance company has to pay. But pre-existing, they will ask you all these things if medication has changed and all those things, and you may pay a bit more, or they may have to cross-check with the GP and give you what to pay. So having a pre-existing medical doesn't debar you from taking an insurance policy. And even in the worst case scenario, we have specialist companies that will take up your case.
Oh, okay. So at what age can you not take insurance? Like what is the age limit to that? Because most insurance companies will not take or like will not offer any insurance policy when you are above a certain age limit.
Yeah.
Generally,
if somebody's, it depends on most of the companies, but generally from 80, 75 years, you cannot take. But there are some policies like we have something, I didn't explain, something called whole of life. It's part of life insurance as well. It's not terminal. It's not terminal policy. It's whole of life. You can take it from 85. You can take it from 85 years onwards. But the minimum age is 18 years. Minimum is, but the maximum, it depends. If it's life insurance, it depends. Some companies will take 75 years, 70 as the time you can take up to that time. Beyond that time, you cannot take those things. You cannot take those policies. But something like whole of life is 85, and we have I explained the accident and sickness as well. Accident and sickness, if you're 65, it's not, that one is not medically underwritten. So if you're 65, you cannot take it. But a day to your 65th birthday, you can take it.
Wow.
Yes.
And also, what happens if someone takes insurance policy through, an employer, and they leave their jobs? What happens?
Yeah. Thank you very much. That will be in the terms and conditions of that policy you're taking with your employer. Because one thing we should realize is most of these policies from employment is how do you call it? It's a benefit, employment benefits, and it can stop at any time. And mostly, you can't. Apart from, it's not investment, it's insurance. That's maybe benefits the employer is giving you. So if you leave employment, generally, I know you cannot take it to wherever you are going. But it's all will be in the terms and conditions of that policy the employer has given you. So it's always good for everyone to check with your HR what it entails if you are working. So you have a policy, we give you medical care, we give you this here. You have to check with the HR, the terms and conditions of that policy. Because generally, you cannot take it if you leave that employment.
Okay. So what are the most important questions should people ask insurers, when they are taking on insurance policies? What are the important questions that they should ask before signing to any insurance policy?
Yeah, mostly this. Thank you very much. They ask these questions through us, obviously. So one of the most common questions they ask is, "I don't want this to increase. So if I will say it's £20, I don't want it to increase." That's what we call a guaranteed premium. If you don't want it to increase, you tell the advisor, "This, I don't want you to surprise me. That's maybe next year you say it goes here," because some policies start cheaply. It's age banded. When you increase in age, the policy goes up and stuff like that. So you should let the advisor know that I want a guaranteed premium. And also, there is something called increasing cover. Increasing cover in the sense that if you are covering yourself for maybe 100,000, in 10 years' time, what 100,000 will buy will be less than what it can buy today. So if you take something like increasing cover, they every year the policy, the cover amount, the 100,000 will increase by the rate of inflation or retail price index. Assuming the rate of inflation is 5%, and you take a policy of 100,000, next year the cover amount will go up to 105,000, and the premium will also increase. Assume you're paying £20, the premium will also increase by 5%, so you will be paying 21% instead of 20%. In most cases, the advisor will tell you that I would like to recommend increasing returns, increasing cover for you because of inflation. It's up to you to tell the advisor, I don't want it. Or you include it when it comes to next year. Before the anniversary of the policy, the insurance company will write to you asking you if you want that to be included in your next premium. So it's incumbent for you to decide, okay, I want it to go up, or I want it to remain the £20 as I started. So is that, ask them every question that comes to mind. There is no right or wrong question. There is no, because if you don't understand anything that comes to mind with regards to the policy you are taking, please ask. Please ask the insurer. Some of these questions, maybe the particular advisor have not come across that question before or that situation before. Ask, and if the advisor is not in a position to provide you with immediate answer, you will check with the insurer. It's better to get clarification than to go ahead with something you are not clear in your mind with. So I always tell people, whatever comes up to your mind, ask. When is my payment being taken? When is the first time you are going to deduct your direct debit? Ask those questions. If you don't ask, because if you take a policy, most policies, they take the first premium 10 to 14 days. And if that 10 to 14 days, there's no money in your account, the policy may be cancelled, or they have to write to you and stuff like that to affect your direct debit and stuff like that. So ask those questions. When are you going to take? Can I postpone it? Can I do it? Can I have it on the 1st of every month? Or can I have it on the 28th of every month? Ask those questions. Because at the end of the day, you are taking the policy, and everything that bothers you need to be answered. And most advisors, I think most advisors will be ready to explain these things to you. And if they don't have readily available answers, they will seek answers from the insurer and get back to you. So ask these questions, and like what I'm covered for, the sicknesses that I can be covered for. Like if you're taking a policy like the multi-protect, which is non-medical underwritten, and they tell you, because I will tell you that every time you go to hospital, you stay at the hospital for maybe X number of days, you are paid this number of you are paid this amount of money. But the question is, oh, if I come back from the hospital and it happens to me again, would they pay? Ask those questions. If it bothers you, the answer is yes. They will pay as long as you are paying your premium and something happens and you go to the hospital, they will still pay you. So ask those questions and be clear in your mind. If you're a smoker, uh, you tell the advisor you are a smoker, and if, oh, I stopped smoking 2 years ago, or I still smoke and stuff like that. Because smokers pay a bit more, not a bit more, they pay more than non-smokers. Or you stop smoking, or even if you're taking the policy whilst you were a smoker and you stop smoking for a number of years, call your advisor and tell him, I've stopped smoking for this number of years. Anything that comes to mind, if he cannot be of help, he will tell you, this is beyond my uh, scope, and I will seek answers from the insurer and get back to you. Or this is not related to insurance. But anything that comes to mind, please ask.
Wow. I guess many of us don't ask questions. When we are taking on these
Yes.
policies, so
Yes.
we tend to later on I'll say that like we get surprised by the
Yeah.
ability
Yeah.
to get the claims that we think we are due.
Yes.
Okay.
And
So,
if I may ask this, sorry, Nana, if I may
yeah,
ask
sure,
this,
sure.
yeah, because in most cases, the advisor will be asking you, do you think this applies to you? Don't just be nodding. And when advisor leaves, so if I knew, I shouldn't. Do you think this applies to you? And if you don't understand it, ask him to explain it further. And if you think it doesn't apply to you, tell him, I don't think it applies to me because I have this, I have that in place. He will explain to you, do you think this will be enough and stuff like that? Everything that bothers you, please ask. Don't just nod. And when the whole thing, you've paid, some people take policy, they pay for 3, 4 months and they cancel it because, oh, I didn't understand this. You've canceled all that money you've paid for that 3, 4 months is gone to waste. And you have to start again. You understand what I mean? So we ask questions to get clarity, and don't think the advisor will look down upon you for asking a particular question. No, he's there to help you. That's his job, to explain things to your understanding.
Hmm. So, for instance, when you're taking home insurance, do you think it's right to ask, um, you know, like questions like would there be insurance, should your house be destroyed? And also, let's say, should there be a flood or earthquake? What would the home insurance, cover? And also, there's a policy, covers, things like um, water damage, including, damage from the sewer, drain, or the pumps. Like, do you think these are worth asking, before you take home insurance? Do you?
Yeah, ask those questions, and always ask those questions because home insurance it comes basically with if you are taking how do we call it building and contents on its own, just building and contents, they'll quote the figure for you. But if you add in those things, accidental emergencies, accidental damages and stuff like that, because those are the things we claim for. So ask the advisor to include those things, and you are going to add a bit more to your premium. But it's better to cover those things because we earthquakes have how many times earthquakes are a good thing to do if you are doing you are covering your building and stuff like that. They are good things to do. Landslide and even those things, they are good things to put in. But the basic things, like the everyday things, like accidental damages, emergencies, those are mostly the things we claim for. So ask them if that policy is giving you, includes those things. If it doesn't include it, if you add it, how much will it be? But sometimes it's just maybe £2 difference or £5 difference for you to cover yourself for those things a month. So ask those questions. And if that's what you want, let them add it to it so that you know you are covered.
Great. When I actually put this flyer out, I had a lady that sent me this concerns and wants me to ask, how do you know that your health insurance covers? Um, I'm just trying to read, a question.
Yeah.
Whether let's say you get sick abroad. I mean, how do you find out if your insurance policy cover you for care in any hospital, and if you are abroad, and also how do you get to choose? You actually have the freedom to choose doctors, and also what is the maximum claim can you make in a year, and also how is the policy premium determined? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Let me take the last one. The policy premium will be you'll be told the policy premium at the onset of the policy at the meeting. The advisor will tell you the premium you have to pay and stuff like that. And most of these companies have cover for people who travel outside as well, because something like the accident and sickness insurance, for instance, if you are abroad, anywhere you are in the world, you can access it. You can access it. They have an app, they have a telephone number, you can access it. You can talk to a doctor from anywhere you are in the world. And also, if accident happens to you abroad, you can claim for it. But if you are admitted at hospital, it should, for you to claim for it, it should be in the UK or any other European country. But if accident should happen to you in Ghana, you can claim for the damages you suffer and stuff like that. And some of these companies also have this what we call global treatment is when you are here and something happens to you and they cannot find cure for you here. They may organize for you to travel anywhere they think there will be cure. But most of these have when you are abroad and you need medical care. Most of these insurance companies do. They do have it. They do have it. It's with most of these insurance companies. It's not something that's too difficult. Yes.
Oh, so it's not that bad after all.
No. And if, like I said, it's private medical insurance is different. They will explain it to you in more detail than what I'm doing. But most of the things we do, like uh, how do you call it? The MetLife one I explained, that is not medically underwritten. That one I know is for sure. Wherever you are, you want medical attention, you talk to a GP. You talk to a GP and you tell you whatever is suffering from you. We will do everything for you. You have an easy way. There's an app you can book an appointment. They'll get back to you the same day and you talk to somebody, a GP.
I hope my sister, tuned in and her concerns, has been addressed. So we've covered life insurance, we've covered health insurance, we've covered home insurance as well, and also critical illness
cover.
Yeah, and maybe general insurance. I don't know whether we touched on it. Yeah.
Yeah, general insurance is basically, I think I've covered it, but I didn't give that name. It's the building and contents. It's the building and contents insurance. So you can do buildings alone. You can do tenants. If you have a place, somebody's renting it out. You can do a tenant insurance. Landlord insurance. You are the landlord. If you're a landlord or landlady, you can do insurance to cover your what you own in that particular building. So we have landlord insurance. That's all those things come under general insurance, landlord insurance, home insurance, and stuff like that. Home insurance, building and contents, they all come under general insurance. Yes.
Okay. So, anything about insurance that you want to share, with our viewers,
Yes.
anything that you want us to know.
Yes, thank you very much. Like life insurance, as I explained to you, there is something called trust. I'm giving this general advice. Even if you have insurance already, I would advise you to call your insurer and ask your insurer if the policy I took is in trust. If the policy I took is in trust. It's very, very important.
Say it again.
Trust.
Okay.
Trust, TRUST. If that policy is in trust. It's very important in the sense that if the policy is not in trust, it may be liable to what we call inheritance tax. And we know what the inheritance tax is. You may be paying about, if it forms it may form part of your estate. And if it becomes part of your estate, you may be liable to 40% inheritance tax. So call them, insurer, if you have it already. Because what I do is every person I meet, I tell you, if you have taken a policy, life policy, I ask you to put it in trust. Life policy, whole of life policy, I ask you to put it in trust. Because if you put it in trust, you can select the beneficiaries yourself. You can select the beneficiaries. You want A, B, and C to be my beneficiaries. You select, it's like a form of will, right? You can select the beneficiaries and you can select the trustees, people who you think should be there when you are no more, for them to guide the beneficiaries or to establish that, yes, he or she did this. So ask them to put it in trust. And if you put it in trust, you can select the beneficiaries. Secondly, you can select the trustees and you can change these beneficiaries and trustees anytime. If it's a discretionary trust, you can change them at any time. If you have more children, you can add them to it, or if you adopt somebody, you can add that person to it. So if you put them in trust, and it's tax efficient because you don't pay that inheritance tax. Currently, all claims of insurance are tax free. Currently, we don't know when the law is going to change, but currently, every claim you're making, you don't pay tax on it. But life insurance and whole of life, if you don't put it in trust, it may fall part of your estate, which may attract inheritance tax. So we advise people, put your policies in trust, call your insurer, ask them this question: is my policy in trust? Is in trust? No. They may send you forms. Ask them to send you forms. Send you forms. You fill the forms and send it back to them for it to be put in trust. It's very, very important. That's one. And the second thing I would like to tell people is, try and get an advice sale. Advice sale. I'm not discouraging. I'm not competing with anybody who like to go online to do it. But you are not an expert. You may be a medical doctor. You may be a nurse, but you are not an expert in insurance. So let somebody help you do it. And there is a myth that insurance, they charge a lot. You don't pay the agent anything. If I do a policy for you, you don't pay me any money. What I get is a commission from the insurance company. You don't pay me anything. And all these things will be disclosed to you at the meeting. So it's not you paying the financial advisor. So get an advice sale. Ask every question you want to ask. And currently, if you have policy already in place, it can be reviewed for you as well to see if what you took is so how do you call it? It's so up to what you supposed to. We don't charge you anything. So I have policies already. Can you review them for me? I'll be glad to do it. I'll review it for you and see if it's still enough for your cover. So I go through all these things with you. Talk to an advisor if you want insurance. And if you don't have any insurance, try and put something in place, because we said the best time to have taken insurance was yesterday. And the next best time is today. Because one other thing is, the younger you are, the less expensive it is to take insurance. The younger you are, because if somebody is 23 and he's taking about 500,000 worth of life insurance, and you are 50 taking the same amount, you may be paying more than double what the person is paying. So it's better to take life insurance whilst you are young, and also when you are not diagnosed with anything. You say, I'm healthy. That's the best time to take insurance. You don't wait till you are diagnosed with anything, because you are going to pay more. If you're diagnosed with anything, sickness at all, you're going to pay more. So that's what I would like to ask. And also, I think you've shared the link. And everybody, if anyone wants to talk to me from here, the link is there. Nana has shared the link. And you fill the link and you get to me, and I'll call you anytime you want me to.
Thank you so much, Charles. You've actually said a lot of important things tonight, and I think the question that I personally want to ask, you said, I mean, it's better to take insurance, like especially life insurance when you are young, and also at a time where you've not been diagnosed with any ailment or any sickness. So does it, is it like, I don't know, will you say it's not worth now? I mean, if somebody is like 48, 50, 52 and still wants to have a life insurance, or let's say health insurance, what kind of advice would you want to give to such people in that bracket?
Thank you. Like I said initially, let me repeat that again. So the best time to have taken insurance was yesterday. So if you're not taking it, today is still the best time to take it. The second best time is today. But if you're 50, whatever age you are, whatever situation you are in, you may be diagnosed with anything at all, but it's not worse. Whatever situation you are in, is the best thing is to do it now. Because whatever medication you are going through, normally it gets worse. I don't pray for that, but that's what happens. Somebody may be on how do you call it, high blood pressure tablets. At a point, the doctor say, "Oh, it's not coming down." But do it now. If it comes down, if your readings come down, talk to your insurance company. They may do something about it, but don't leave it to chance. Try and put something in place today, especially life insurance. If you have a family, you love your family. So why do you want to leave them without any financial protection? You are working. The income you are earning is the lifeblood of the life you are leading now, right? But
Yeah.
so I won't put any income protection policy in place. I touch wood. If the inevitable happens, you are sick, you cannot go to work, or you're sick through accident or sick, any sickness at all. Your employer has stopped paying you maybe after 6 months, after 3 months. And the worst thing is if you're self-employed, right? Where would the money be coming from? It affects you in so many ways. The money will not be coming from anywhere for your expenses. So if you don't have any of these things in place, try and put something in place. You love yourself, you love your family. Do something about it now and don't leave it to chance.
Wow. And I think one of the reasons why investing in insurance policies puts a lot of people off. I think sometimes it's a bit intrusive.
Yes.
Trying to know everything about somebody.
Yes.
Some people might not feel comfortable telling you everything about their lives, and so sometimes, maybe out of respect for you, and also not wanting you to have that kind of mindset about them. They lie, and then just like you said, it comes back. At a time where their expectations about the claims that they were expecting, it's not being fulfilled. I think that's a problem.
Yeah, now that's a brilliant point you brought up. That's a very, very brilliant point because what is happening now is only at the point of the medical questions that all these things we call intrusive questions will be asked. What medication are you on and stuff like that. But there is a way we can do it without me knowing it. I will delegate when I'm having a meeting with you and it gets to that point. I ask you if you're comfortable disclosing those things to me. If you are not, there's a facility. I will delegate that to you. I will delegate that part to you. You fill it yourself to the best of your ability and you send it direct to the insurer. There's no point me having sight of it. So that intrusiveness is eliminated. So if you're not comfortable disclosing some of this medical intrusive details about yourself, probably some may be your family member, somebody your close friend, you don't want him or her to know about these things. Yes, it can delegate it to you. You do it yourself. You fill in the answers yourself and you send it. So that shouldn't be a problem at all. If you're not comfortable, tell the advisor, I'm not comfortable with this. I would like to fill it out myself.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, I guess everybody, we've all been educated, we've all been enlightened, tonight.
Thank you.
And if anybody wants any form of insurance, help, I think apart from car insurance, now, yes, with the car insurance, I think we have a lot of, people driving without car insurance. And also, I think there was something on BBC, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I'm not too sure. That there's that. I think they did a survey and then they realized that, with certain postcodes where they have a lot of minority people,
Yeah.
the insurance is very, very high, as compared, to the other, postcodes.
Yeah.
What can we do, about this situation? Because that can even have a very, very, negative, effect on anyone wanting to take first time, insurance, and also, it will put people off entirely from taking insurance.
It's true.
Well,
Yeah. Because I think with car insurance, they ask you your ethnic background and stuff like
yeah.
that. But with personal insurance, I don't. There's nothing like that. I've seen that report. There's a report. There's been a report on with Citizens Advice Bureau as well about being black and Asian minority ethnic groups paying more, about some percentage more than the other ethnic groups and stuff like that. So it's true. But with insurance, with personal insurance, apart from car insurance, you don't have anything like that. You don't disclose your your ethnic background. You don't
Mm.
disclose it. They don't ask you about those questions. So it's straightforward. They don't know whether you're a white guy or black guy or wherever. So those information is not collected of you for personal insurance purposes.
Okay, so maybe to the young person that just passed, their driving test and wanting to, now, just take insurance policy, and how can they understand the marketplace for motor insurance? I know this is not what you do, but I know you have, knowledge about, motor insurance. How can anyone watching us understand the marketplace for motor insurance products?
Yeah, thank you. Like you said, I don't advise on motor insurance, but I think there are a lot of online portals out there. Take your time, go through them, put your details in there, and check which one appeals to be. I know some individuals doing it as well, but I'm not very, very sure how they do it to get you cheaper insurance. But I would advise you go through the portals and see where it can appeal to you best. Because I don't do motor insurance.
That's fine.
Yes,
That's fine. Thank you so much for your time,
you're welcome.
and thank you for availing yourself to be um, a good vessel, to our community tonight by educating us and also by teaching us what to look for when we are taking out insurance policy.
Insurance, yeah,
Yeah, thank you so much. And
welcome.
there's something that you said that will stay, with me forever. You said the best time to take insurance was yesterday.
Yes.
Yes, and then it's still not too late if you want to
The
do it.
second best time is today.
Yes, it's today. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's today. Yeah. So, anyone that has stayed with us till now, I say thank you. I've seen, Alex saying very informative. I have Effie Jackson also saying thank you, and also it was very informative. We thank you, and before we go, I just want to
Yeah.
say that insurance helps us to prevent adverse situations from occurring. It also reduces the financial consequences
Yes.
of adverse situations.
Yeah.
And also, it negates all consequences of adverse conditions. And I think the last thing that I would want to leave with you is it makes assets continuously productive. So, if you haven't actually thought about taking any form of insurance, please, tonight we've been enlightened on the importance and also the benefits of taking insurance. And I think the problem that we have is not asking the relevant questions. So please, before you take out any form of policy, take your time and read through. And if you don't understand anything, the jargons, if you think these are all too much for you, kindly use the agent. That is why they are there. Ask them all the relevant questions and let them explain everything to you to the letter. Yes. And also, Mr. Hogger told us that, especially for life insurance, make sure you put it in trust
Yes.
so that that 40% inheritance tax, will be avoided.
Yes.
And also try and get advice sale And I said, try to get advice sale and also ask questions. No matter how silly those questions might be, ask them, because it's through the asking that is where you get the answers that you want. So they've been paid to to support us. They've been paid to advise us. So we should make use of them. So if you never had any insurance at all, please, after this discussion, contact Charles Hogger on Eminent Financial Services. I'm going to put the link, after this interview, or under the video, and then you can contact him for non-commitment, for contact or anything that you want, just from him. And trust me, he's a very, very patient person, and he will answer every question that really bothers you. So please, let's support our own, Charles Hogger. Let us support his business, and let us continue to educate ourselves. These are discussions that are worth listening to. So please share this conversation. Let us educate our community to take on such important, I'll say
decisions.
Yes, thank you. Decisions, so that in case of any death, in case of any eventuality, in case of any injury, in case of anything, we wouldn't have to be knocking other people's doors. And then the next thing will be like embarrassment, and then 2, it will be your business out there. So please, to prevent that, let us use insurance, and Charles Hogger will be there to help you get any form of claim that you want. Sorry, a plan that you want. So please contact Charles Hogger on Eminent Financial Services. Once again, thank you for anyone that has stayed with us up until now. I say thank you for your continued support. Thank you, and good evening. And once again, good night. Thank you.
Thank you very much.